was kind of your biggest takeaway from watching them?
Fast-paced offense. They get to the line of scrimmage and they're ready to go. So we got to make sure we get the call fast. So give us a call fast and just get lined up. And then from there, just play ball.
How have the last few days been like for you personally, coming off the game?
I mean, they good. Got my body back, feeling good. Looking forward to this week.
Have you ever had to bounce back from a play quite like that before?
No.
When you looked at the tape, did you feel like overall that was probably the best game of your career to that point?
I don't know. I don't know. I was more looking at as a team. We lost. I think that was the biggest thing. We lost. That was for the division. We lost. So now it's kind of a wild card thing.
You played a good game, so after that last play, how much, putting the whole game into a picture, how much after that last play do you have more motivation to get back on the field Sunday and more confidence based on how you played against the Cowboys as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, every week, trying to get better. Every week, every game, just get confidence and get better. So, yeah, that was the goal, to get better. As a defense, to get better, to win. Came up short. Just got to go into this week and win.
Rasul, I think probably you were already asked this, but Coach Schwartz said a couple of days ago that if you make that play at the end, you might be NFC Player of the Week. It was that kind of a game for you. Can you take any consolation in the fact that it was a great game for you up until that spot?
I mean, nothing else mattered before that. So, I mean, we lost. That's really it.
What does it mean to have the support of your teammates as you're coming off the field?
Yeah, I mean, we all family. We all love each other. We all play for each other. I mean, we work hard for each other, You can't go out there by yourself and do it. So we all support each other no matter what.
What did Jim and Doug tell you after the game?
Nah, we just brought it up as a team, and we said it was a tough one. We gave everything we got. Came up short. Critique yourself when you watch film, and let's get ready to work for LA.
What's 99 snaps feel like the next day?
Tub, ice tub. That's what it feel like. Getting in the ice tub.
I mean, in the Big 12, you guys play a lot of snaps.
I don't think I played 100 before though.
Yeah, but I mean, I was gonna say that's a lot. As the game's going on, do you feel it, or is it
Yeah,
the next
you
day?
feel it. You feel it. 'Cause, I mean, we just was out on the field on defense to stop them, and then OT they get the ball and receive it, and then you right back out there again. So.
And then in your position, you're running every play. Too,
Yeah,
obviously.
every play. Because, I mean, they was throwing the ball.
Exactly.
They were trying to get in field goal range and call a timeout. So.
So what effect did that have, if any effect at all?
You just had to, it kind of got mental. It wasn't about nothing. If you can go in there just mentally, you got to be mentally tough.
Yeah.
And it's technique more than anything.
I think, this year's been tough, obviously, for a multitude of reasons. The injuries are part of the game. I'm not going to delve too deep into that injury. He's going to have the opportunity to talk when he wants to talk. He can give you guys as much information or as little as he wants to give. Feel bad for him, obviously. One of my best friends on the team. But, yeah, I'm not going to speak too much into his injury.
No, I just mean your reaction to it. I mean, again, you were on the team last year. You saw how the team reacted to it, when Nick went in there.
Yeah, my reaction is it's tough, but Nick is a Super Bowl MVP quarterback for a reason, and we got a ton of confidence in him. He's going to go out there and give it his all like he always does. The offense changes maybe a little bit, but at the same time, Nick is a heck of a quarterback, and we're excited to play for him.
We don't see how hard he worked, Carson, in the offseason to come back from his knee injury.
Yep.
And can't get through a season and something else pops up. How much do you feel for the work he put in?
Yeah, I think I understand what he's gone through all year, even last year, how hard he worked to get back. Obviously, he wanted to play each and every game from week 1. They didn't let him go till week 3. But he had every intention of playing each and every game this year. It's just unfortunate that it went this way. I don't know if his season's over or what, but I wish he was out there. I love playing with him. I love playing for him. He's the unquestioned leader of this football team, so are we going to miss him? Yeah. But we got all the confidence in the world in Nick. He's a phenomenal player, and we're excited to play for him.
We don't get to see Nick a ton, or we haven't this year. what have you seen from him? It's obviously, we've talked about how much of a unique situation it's been for a Super Bowl MVP to be a backup again. How has he handled it all year?
Yeah, I mean, he's still trying to get better. That's the thing you respect about Nick, Nate Sudfeld. Those two have been working on the side all year. It's not like they've just been in the dumps because they're not the starting quarterback. They're still working hard each and every day. You could see that there's been a growth in both of their play throughout the year. That's why everyone loves those guys. Everyone respects them. They're viewed extremely highly within this organization because of the way they approach every day.
You're obviously close with Carson. How bummed to see?
Dealing with injury is always tough, whether he plays this week or whether he plays the rest of the year. He's definitely doing everything he can to play. This year hasn't gone the way we all thought it would. Obviously, he wanted to play each and every game, but I care about him as a person first and foremost, and I'm here for him. Obviously, he knows that. Yeah.
Zach, you got any good back jokes for him? Like maybe you shouldn't try to carry the team on your back.
That is a good one. I'll let him know.
Okay.
Zach, has he been playing with this for a while and had,
Yeah, I'm gonna let him answer those questions. I'm not gonna speak for him. I know I think he wants to talk to all of you guys face to face. He doesn't want anyone to speak for him, so I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Zach, it sounded like you called on Nick to bring the team up in the huddle to bring the team down later. Is there a reason for that? Is that by design?
I just want everyone to know that everyone's got full confidence in the guy. No one's asking him to do too much. We just want him to be himself, but at the same time, guys love playing for him. Guys love his personality, I just wanted everyone to know. I wanted him to know that everyone had his back. This is a family. This is a family team. We truly care for one another, and I wanted him to know that, hey, we all have your back here, and just go out and play to the best of your abilities. We're not asking you to do any more or any less than that.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know, guys just kind of shout who they want to have kind of break the team down to start practice. And I saw Nick. I think a lot of guys saw Nick and just kind of called him out.
Is it kind of, I guess, ironic in a sense that if Nick ends up playing, it'd be the same place as where Carson?
Yeah, it's not lost on us, for sure. I don't believe in coincidences, really, but it's just the way it is. I wish Carson was out there each and every week. But at the same time, it is weird that it is in LA this week. I didn't play last year here, so I'm excited to get back out there.
Zach, will be an adjustment in that as hard as he worked to get back, he's got to deal with something else.
I mean, it's tough. Obviously, injuries are part of the game. You understand that playing in this league for as long as I have. But at the same time, you never want to see anyone injured. You don't want to see a guy that works so hard to get back to play each and every game injured. And you don't want anyone to get hurt that's that talented, obviously. But at the same time, injuries are part of the game, which is unfortunate. It's probably the worst part of this game, worst part of this league. And unfortunately, it's the next man up mentality because the Rams aren't going to feel bad for us if Nick is out there or if Carson's out there. I mean, I don't think any decision has been made on who's officially playing. But yeah, I mean, it's tough.
What kind of adjustment is there when you change quarterback? How do you feel about that?
I mean, the timing is a little different. Some guys see the game differently. I think Carson and I have we've played together for so long that we see the game extremely similarly. He can always trust me to get open. He understands how I'm going to run routes. And you just got to replicate that with the next guy. A lot of talking this time of year. You're not getting a ton of extra reps because your bodies really can't handle that much extra work this time of the year. But there's a lot of communication going on in between periods, in between reps. What do you see? What do you think I need to do better? A lot of that sort of thing. So we're just trying to get on the same page. The good news is that Nick is not new here. Everyone's played with him that's on his team now besides probably Goedert and Dallas. But at the same time, we did get a lot of reps with him in training camp too. Dallas did. And so we got a lot of confidence in Nick. The game plan may change a little bit if he's out there, but not too much because we're so confident in his abilities.
What's been the key when you've looked at the tape as far as being able to run?
Stand on blocks and, running backs, using their vision and seeing where the holes are, things like that.
Brandon, what's the difference? Everyone focuses on edge rushers a lot of times, but with them, they're focused on the interior. For an offensive line, how much more difficult is it to face teams that have to bring more pressure from the inside as opposed to the outside?
So you're saying basically like, a great D tackle versus a great DN?
Yeah. How does the offensive line? Yeah.
At tackle, man, great DNs. You can get some chips, some things like that. At tackle, you're working a little bit more on the outside, kind of keep them outside. Great guys in the middle, man, is right up the middle. Especially if the slide's going away from you, you got a two-way go literally right up the middle. I don't feel like I have to really speak much on Donald. Donald's probably first ballot Hall of Famer, hands down. You see what he's doing. You see, I don't know if there's ever been an interior player who's really like that good all the way around. Probably the last one maybe was maybe Warren Sapp, inside, somebody like that. A guy who can run, pass. The kid's been unbelievable since he came in.
How does that adjust your game plan when you face guys like that? A combination like Donald and Sid together inside.
Great players, but we're good players too, man. So we look forward to the challenge.
When you step out for practice today and Nick Foles is on the center and Carson Wentz, not Carson, what do you think at that point? Like, what's going on with Carson?
I think Coach kind of spoke on it as far as the soreness. Let him sit out, get right, kind of go from there. No need to risk further injury. Just let him take his time and go from there.
So you have Corey now on IR, Joshua on IR, Carson's questionable. It has been one thing after another for this team this season. You say to yourself, when does this end, man?
Hey, man, I'm not, here to, blame stuff on injuries, man. Teams have guys hurt all the time. Here to not make excuses and win games. So those guys are down. It's unfortunate. Wishing those guys, the best as far as healing up and getting back out there, but it's a next man up mentality. So
You remind Nick every once in a while that you restructured the deal for him.
Nah, man, it's all good, man. Nick's a great guy, great person. I love playing with him on the field. And, kind of like what I said when I tweeted, man, he deserved more money, man. So it's all good.
Being what you've been through with him in the past, the Super Bowl run, how reassuring is that if Carson can't play?
Prior to, that run, I've always had confidence in Nick. It's funny, people will forget what Nick did here his first time. I think the 7 touchdowns versus Oakland, him going to the Pro Bowl. He's proved he could be a good quarterback in this league, and then he did it again last year. So nothing but confidence in him.
What do you remember about the Rams game last season? It was sort of a turning point for the team overall.
It was really up to there. It was like the Goff Wentz deal, and then once we got there, it was kind of like a shootout, and came away with the W.
This week you're going up against a team that's going to use a lot of tempo, and that's kind of a challenge as far as getting personnel on and off the field. How do you deal with that from
I think to dealing with the tempo, I think just stay calm and get the call, line up and play. Just think just keep it simple. Don't confuse ourselves, and we'll be fine.
Two of the best defensive tackles going up against each other in this game, Aaron and you. Does that excite you? And what's it like going to a game knowing he's on the other side, making an impact just like you are?
Aaron is my boy. Obviously, we talk all the time, and we always wish each other the best and having success on and off the field. But he on his side, and I'm on my side, and we just get a chance to watch each other from actually be at the same game.
Is it there a personal rivalry or personal kind of I'm gonna one up you or how that goes?
Nah, man, we're just going and as far as me myself, and I just try to go out and just play my best ball as I do every Sunday.
But there's not many players in this league that you can be compared to. Is he someone who you watch or will pay attention to from afar?
I think we're two totally different players. Obviously, I think he's more of a he's a lot smaller than I am, and he's moving around a lot quicker than I do, and I'm more of a power guy. He's more of a speed guy around the edge, and we're just two totally different people when it comes to comparing us. But we, like you said, we both really good players.
Jim Schwartz said yesterday when he was looking back at the Bears game, the Bears win over the Rams, the pressure that they were able to get, especially from Khalil Mack on Jared Goff, was key. when you take a look at that tape, what were you able to see from the Bears D-line?
I mean, they got after it. I mean, the Bears, they let them, they depended on their front to get after it, and it's the same here. They're going to depend on us to get there and not bring any extra pressure. And, I think, I know we've got the guys to do that, to get after the quarterback with 4 people, and, we'll see where we're at.
I'm curious for you, often players like you are judged based on sacks. When you get a sack, then it's negated because of a holding call. How does that kind of play in your head? Does it matter to you at all?
Yes, it matters. It does matter. I won't speak on that, but it does matter.
Last year's win over the Rams was such a pivotal moment for you guys. What do you recall most about that game?
And winning. We won the game. We found a way to win, especially on the road against a good team, which they're a really good team this year. And it's going to be tough. They've been rolling. We've been struggling. They're coming off of a loss. We're coming off a loss, and we're just going to see who wanted more.
Fletch, what was your reaction when you didn't see Carson at practice today and you saw Nick was the starter? Or at least the quarterback out there right now, for that matter.
I mean, I'm not a coach. I don't get into talking about other players' injuries. That's the coach's business, and I won't answer that question again.
Let's get back to the tempo thing. Do you go into this game kind of prepared to stay out there a few snaps longer every time than you might have to because of the tempo situation?
I think at some point, doing the tempo and the way that teams do tempo and do all those things right there, at some point, either the ball will go out of bounds, they'll go out of bounds, or it'll be an incomplete pass and you get a chance to sub. And we do a great job of subbing, running guys on and off the field, and we just got to do it with a lot more pace, a lot more tempo than we're usually doing, knowing that they like to hurry up on the ball and try to get 12 minutes on the field.
Hey, Fletch, they have a lot of weapons. Has Jim kind of stressed that it starts with Todd Gurley and stuff?
Man, every week, man, it's going to be stopping the running back. We got to make teams one-dimensional. And if teams is able to run the ball on us, and then we're in for a long treat. We just got to, everybody, just stay calm and play the run. Get guys to the football and get them in those long down situations, and that way we get the rushing quarterback.
Is it different going out to LA this year? Last year it was kind of a showdown between 2 top teams. You guys clinched the East and won. Is it a different game this year?
Nope, it'll be the same. I mean, we're going against a really good football team, as I said, and I know that we're a really good football team. As I mentioned, that we're both coming off of losses, and it's going to be which team wants it more. And I know the guys in this room right here go down there ready to play. They'll be focused, and we'll see the outcome when the clock hits 0.
You mentioned you and Aaron talk a lot. How did you guys develop that friendship? Where did that all come from?
We got the same agent.
Okay.
Come off the tough loss, do you feel like you have to set the tone that much more to make sure that doesn't carry over into this week of prep for Los Angeles?
I think carrying it over would be, we had a good practice today. Guys flew around. I think guys was focused on, doing their job and, just taking coaching, man. When you come off a loss, I think it makes everybody that much more ready for the next game, man, where you flush it out and get ready to roll.
So you had some success early last week, but then you guys kind of you shut them down second half. What was the difference? Just a mentality, or just playing your gaps better? What?
No, we just, they had schemed up some stuff that we probably have seen before, but needed to brush back up on it. And at some point in time, we just had to stop the bleed. We bled a little bit, and the main thing about it, we stopped the bleed, and that's a step forward. And signs of a really good good players around.
You find though when you and Zach are both on the field though that it does present a matchup problem for defenses?
Yeah, 2 tight ends. I mean, that's kind of the whole game plan of every. No matter what personnel is, you try to find a mismatch, and whether it's us on a linebacker or us on a safety, we like those matchups a lot.
What do you call your personnel anyway? So like Zach is the move tight end. Some teams call it like the H or the Joker. What is the terminology that you guys use here?
Y and F. Y is like the tight end. F is kind of the adjuster.
Okay. And you're the Y and Zach is the...
Depends on the play, yeah.
Okay. Typically, though, you would be the Y, right?
Probably more often than not.
Yeah. What is your improved blocking done for Zach? I mean, has it freed him up to do a little more rather than inline stuff because you've been able to block a lot?
Yeah. I mean, we just kind of use that ever since the beginning. Since I got here, is I'd be the Y and he'd be the F. His route running skills are kind of unmatched in this league, so that puts him in the best chance to win.
Dallas, if Nick plays, you obviously had some time with him in training camp. Is it hard to recall that and get back on the same page as a quarterback you haven't played with for a while?
No, I don't think so. And I think, a lot of people on this team, they just if the ball's thrown that way, they're going to go make a play. And Nick's a great quarterback. We all have a lot of trust in him, so we're not too worried about it.
Where do you think you've made your greatest strides? You're probably not a rookie, but you're not really a rookie anymore. You've played a lot of games. Where do you think you've made your most of your strides?
I think just my overall game, whether it's blocking, route running, kind of learning the offense, making sure I know who I'm blocking or who I'm running the route on or who I'm working with on the route, just kind of football knowledge right there.
What are the things that make Zach so good at route running that you can try to take from and apply to your game?
He gets open, he catches the ball. It's basically that's all you can say. He does a great job running his routes. Even if he's not open, he catches the ball, and that's probably the biggest thing is, if the ball's thrown your way, just make a play on it.
What's it been like for you being like a bigger part of the offense in the last couple of weeks? And do you feel like, with your progression and everything, you're ready for that now?
Yeah, I think I've been ready for it since I've got here. I love being on the field. I love playing with these guys. That's kind of why I'm here, to play football. So definitely I enjoy it.
What do you think of the pass interference call?
I wish it wasn't called. It's tough. Bang plays. Tough on us, tough on officials. I wish we could have that one back or go to the replay, but you can't. We went down and scored on the drive, so that's kind of all we wanted to do.
You didn't celebrate. It seemed like you almost knew when you got into the end zone, or did you sense something was awry when?
Nah, well, when I got in there, I looked at the ref, and I put my hands up, hoping that he would put his hands up too. And then he kind of looked back, and I saw the flag, so I figured they were going to wait. And obviously, my stepdad's told me a lot. Make sure there's no flags before you're celebrating, so you don't look like a fool.
Yeah. Of all the PI calls you've ever gotten in your life, do you ever remember being as surprised as you were at that one?
It might have been my first PI call ever.
Really?
I'm trying to think. I don't remember ever having one before. So
You took on that play. You took like 2 helmet-to-helmet shots. The second one looked kind of obvious on the replay anyway. Did they hurt you at all?
Physically?
Yeah, the second one looked like, knocked your helmet loose.
My helmet got loose, but, it didn't really affect me, I think. It's kind of like anything. It probably would have hurt a lot more if I didn't have the ball or didn't stay up, but, I was just in the zone, I guess.
We didn't see it this last game, but the previous few games, or we've seen a little more screens with you in the screen game. Why do you like catching those, and why do you think you're effective?
I like catching those just because it gets the ball in my hand, and I think I'm effective. I compete pretty well with the ball in my hand. I do a pretty decent job of making people miss. Obviously, I'm not Darren Sproles out there, but I think I can do all right. And it's a way to get other people involved in the offense, get someone else the ball.
Did you ever play running back in high school or anything like that?
A little bit in high school. Kind of played everything in high school, but.
Yeah. Because you look a little bit like it on those screens.
What's that?
Were you a running back?
I don't think my team wasn't very good at anything, I guess, back then.
Hey, can I ask you about the pass that Carson threw to you that you got down to like the 9 or something? That was like a touch pass and everything. Just kind of what that was like.
Yeah, it was just like the corner route that I caught on the sideline.
Yeah.
I was kind of probably taking too long trying to read the covers, making sure I was in the right spot, and Carson really put it right where it needed to be. As soon as I turned my head, it was right there, caught it, and it's kind of turned up.
It seemed like one of those passes, that's obviously hard for a quarterback to make. It's got to be like the right touch and everything like that. Is that kind of how you saw it?
It was a good pass by Carson by all means, but he does that all the time. Throws the ball, puts it right where it needs to be.
When you line up on a linebacker in the slot, your eyes light up. Do you feel like that's a matchup you should win?
Yeah. Anytime I'm guarded by a linebacker, I take pride in winning. And it's a matchup is in favor of the tight end. So you don't want to be that tight end that gets jammed up or doesn't get off and gets the quarterback hit.
FCS playoffs this weekend. Any bets with Carson?
We haven't came up with a for sure thing, but we'll definitely have something down. We've talked about it a little bit.
You don't want to see stuff like that happening. Unfortunately, that's the game that we're involved in is, football. Guys getting beat up and guys get hurt, and it's unfortunate. But we continue to pray for those guys on our team, and we're going to
play for the guys who aren't able to, and try to keep moving this thing forward and fight for them.
Brandon Graham said you guys have made way too many mistakes. You can't afford to have another loss. I mean, mathematically, you still have something to play for.
Yeah, I mean, we never want to make mistakes, obviously, and that's what we're doing. This week is trying to clean up and move forward. Obviously, we're always moving forward, always focused on that next game that we have. So anything we can do to put ourselves over the edge, we're going to do.
When you go to practice to see Nick Foles under center and no Carson Wentz, what are you thinking at that point?
He's the leader. He's under center. He's leading it. I'm here to do my job. He's here to do his job. Whoever's out there, I'm riding with him 100%. And I know they would do the same for me. So I'm out there giving it my all for them, for those guys, and I know they're doing the same. So everybody has trust in whoever's in that huddle, and we're going to go to work.
What was his message when he broke down the huddle today?
That we're going to be special. We're going to continue to work, and we're going to continue to get after it. Despite whatever may be going on the outside of us, we're going to keep this thing together and try to be something special.
How much of a transition is it for you dealing with the new voice in there?
I don't think it's a transition. I mean, in camp, I pretty much work with all the quarterbacks, so just trying to get that chemistry back a little bit, but nothing too crazy. When I was on the scout team, I was taking handoffs from him, and he was making the calls, so won't be anything out of the ordinary.
Really excited to be in the league and all that, but when your season gets shorted by what you can't control, you just got to just keep trying and just keep pushing on and just take the best out of it, and just learn from it.
What's it been like since then? I know you got let go from Carolina, and then you kind of bounced around a little bit.
I've just been learning, man. The different teams I've been fortunate to be in the locker room with J.J. Watt and Clowney and Merciless, and up there in San Francisco with Bucker and all them guys, and just been learning and just trying to keep learning.
It's a different scheme here from Houston, obviously.
Yeah.
As a 4-3 end, how do you think you fit?
I feel like I'm a 4-3 in. That's where I started off. Pee Wee League, high school, college. I feel like I'm Panthers, and I'm back comfortable.
For fans who might not know your style of play and what you bring, how would you describe it?
Speed rusher, and just play with a lot of effort and just make some extra effort plays.
In the situation you were in, a day 2 draft pick, are you surprised that this is kind of where you are at the second point in your career?
I'm not surprised. Everybody's journey is different, and my journey is clearly different from other guys, and my journey's not over.
How have you stayed encouraged or optimistic given?
Man, just keep pushing. I'm not a quitter, and I'm never gonna be a quitter. So I'm not until it's time for me. Until I can't play anymore, that's when I'll stop playing. But if it's up to me, I'm just keep playing hard.
What do you know about this scheme, and what did they tell you about kind of how your skill set fits what they want to do here?
It's just a 4-3 attacking defense, just like the Panthers, just like my college. So I'm back comfortable.
Obviously, there's 3 games left in the regular season here. Are you hoping this could be a place to stick for you?
Yeah, of course. I love Philly. I love the opportunity, and I'm just gonna keep working from here.
Realistically, how much do you think you'll be able to contribute coming in, learning the playbook, that sort of thing?
I'm not sure. It's up to the coaches, but I feel like I'm a pretty smart guy, and I can pick up the plays fairly quickly. So it's just all up to the coaching staff, and I'll be waiting when my name's called.
Are there guys here that you know? Are you familiar with any of the?
Jalen Mills went to. He started at Lancaster and then went to DeSoto. I went to Lancaster High School. Jay Mills. I know a little couple guys out here.
What was Jalen Mills like back in the day?
He was a cool dude, man. He always competitive, just like he is now. Same dude.
When you went through the knee injury and the recovery, what was the hardest part of all that?
Just not being able to contribute with your team. You go through training camp and OTAs and mini camp, and that's a lot of work. So when I got to the season and got hurt, it was disappointing, but it's a part of the game. Injuries are part of the game, so I just kept forward and pushing.
From a terminology standpoint, how difficult is it to jump from team to team and just learn the new language of the scheme?
Really not that hard. You just gotta be a student of the game and just study. This your only job in playing football, so
you got to take that seriously and know the plays and know all that. That's part of your job.
What's the practice squad? What was it like for the
in New Orleans?
Yeah, how did it help you? Did you learn a lot of stuff?
Yeah, I mean they were the number one rush they're the number one rush defense in the league. So going against them on a day-to-day basis has really helped me in the run game, understanding my reads, understanding concepts, and going against them every day has really made me the player I am now. So I couldn't have enough respect for those guys and the way that they carry themselves playing against them every day. But the organization as a whole, it was a great organization.
Were you ever in a situation where you thought they might, put you on the 53?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You never had any injuries or anything that would,
No, I mean,
Ingram and
yeah. So,
yeah,
just the message was just be ready, anytime. 'Cause you never know. You never know a guy might go down, and when your number's called, it's time to show up. So that was pretty much the mindset.
So if you've been asked already, but were you surprised when you got the news?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's something new, but it's another opportunity. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, getting to know some of the guys, getting to know the system, getting to know the coaching staff, and we'll see what happens.
What do you think you're good at?
I think I can attack you in a lot of different ways. In the return game, as a running back, as a pass catcher, there's a lot of different ways I can attack you. So.
As someone who was a walk-on in college, what's it like now to be on an active roster of an NFL team?
Oh man, it's a dream come true. I've put in a lot of work up to this point, and I don't necessarily worry about the outcome, but I just trust the process, and here I am. That's what it's been, just focusing on the now and what I can control, and here we are.
In the lead up to the draft, was there much contact with the Eagles? Did they have any interest in you as a prospect that you knew of?
No, not really. Now that I think about it, no, not really. No, there wasn't much. So.
Trust the process is a popular phrase in Philadelphia, so
yeah.
I don't know if you know that already.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's just something I've gone by. So, I'm just ready for my opportunity. So.
How different will it be for you, as someone who grew up in Louisiana, played your college ball there, your pro ball there early on, to now be in a different area altogether?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to get to be around this new culture, be around this new place. Skyline is beautiful. The city, I've seen a little bit of it, so it's pretty cool. It's different, so something new to experience.
You scored a preseason touchdown against the Rams, so does that help at all whatsoever?
I think the preseason is a little different from the real deal. So I'm excited to get out there regardless. So I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Do you have any familiar faces here?
Darren Sproles. I mean, I grew up watching him, but also I got some work out in Cali with him, with Drew. So I was able to get to know him.
That's cool.
Solid guy. Yeah, I really like him a lot. So
Given that you're a smaller back, but you're hefty, kind of like he is, do you kind of look at him as somebody what kind of career you could have or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to bring my own, Boston Scott to the game, but he's one of the guys that I've watched since, I've looked up college tape from Kansas State, how he did at Kansas State and how he did at the Saints and how he did with the Chargers and Philly. So, I mean, he's been a staple in me molding my game, so it's been cool to watch him, but now to be here and be his teammate, that's an incredible feeling. So.
What did you tell me something you learned from watching those tapes?
Just how you being smaller isn't necessarily a weakness, but if you're able to run the ball the right way, you can actually use it to your advantage because you can get lost behind the line. So you understand the run scheme, even more so being short, you can make the defense do what you want them to do.
What can you do on special teams? I mean, you actually return.
Yeah, I can return. Yeah, sure. I can definitely be a gunner. I can, cover on kicks. Whatever they need me to do. Whatever they need me to do, I can do it. So.
How did you get connected with Darren Sproles?
In Cali. That's Drew. Drew brought me over to throw and catch, and that's where I met him personally for the first time. Like I said, I've always been a fan of him, but that's where I got to meet him. We exchanged numbers. We've been in contact ever since. So.
What's the best bit of advice that he's given you?
It hasn't necessarily been advice, but just kind of watching him work, watching his mindset, watching his tendencies, what he does, and how he takes every rep seriously and how he gives his all every single rep. So just watching him go through it every single day as a pro, it really does set the standard and set the bar to where I want to go.
And this was the break in between end of minicamp and beginning of training camp?
Yes. Yep.
It's unique to see speed and power. I think that inside, especially, you see one of two things. Either you see a guy coming on third down, usually, who's got some quickness and he'll play inside to get a little bit of pass rush for him, or, first, second down, you're seeing a bigger guy that's pretty much, either he's explosive or he's powerful. Very rarely do you see, the combination of gifts that Aaron Donald possesses. So, the fact that he's got both of those, you can't cheat on anyone. You can't, play high and get ready to, work an arm over move. Otherwise, he's going to run through you. You can't, hunker down and lean on a bull rush. Otherwise, he's going to go around you. So you really have to maintain discipline. You have to maintain balance. You can't try and cheat it on a guy like that, to say the least.
Pro Bowl voting is coming out pretty soon.
A little surprised to see Nick under center instead of Carson today.
Yeah, obviously, I don't really want to talk about injuries or anything like that. But, I've had a lot of reps with both of those guys, so I feel comfortable with both of them.
The Pro Bowl voting is going to come out pretty soon. Is it safe to say that Donald is going to be one of the guys on your? You still have to play against him, but is that pretty safe
that he's going to be a Pro Bowl player?
No, that you're going to vote on your ballot.
I will definitely be voting for Aaron Donald.
That's all I need.
To say the least, yeah.
Chase, despite the fact that they've got Sue and Donald in the middle of that line,
sure,
they're allowing like 5.1 yards per carry this season.
Yeah.
When you watch the film, what have teams been able to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep watching film. Obviously this is the first day for us since we were off yesterday. I think that they have really, really good players who can disrupt and get penetration. But I think that stats sometimes can be misleading. I think sometimes they get so much penetration that there leaves gaps and stuff sometimes between them and the second level, which it's kind of feast or famine sometimes when you play defenses like that. But they have some incredible players all along that defensive, not just the front seven, but in the back end. They're pretty solid throughout. So I'm not really looking at that as any indicator on what it's going to be like for us. I'm just trying to, go about what the game plan is and, what are we going to do to try and be effective against them.
What's the prevailing memory of that game last year in the locker room?
Obviously, we're really excited to get a win, but I think the number one memory is hearing that Carson Wentz was done for the year. I'd be lying if I told you otherwise. That was a big, at that point, he was having an MVP season, incredible year. And we all know how that ended up turning out. But, that was a pretty shocking blow to everybody when we heard at least the possibilities. I don't think it was set in stone at that point, but, yeah.
Just you personally, being an interior guy, is facing Donald into the toughest challenge of the year, and being a veteran, how would you compare it as far as your history goes? Have you played against a more formidable duo in your career?
Man, I don't know. This is probably the best duo I've faced as far as just 1 and 2 defensive tackles. I've played some good duos through the years, but I don't think that this is about as good as it gets. I think for me, we're going to face good defensive line next week as well. We've in this league, there's so many good defensive players, especially defensive linemen. We get to face a pretty good D-line every day in practice. But as far as both of them being dominant, game-wrecking type players, this is a unique situation for us.
How did word of Carson's injury filter down to you guys in the Coliseum?
In the Coliseum?
Yeah, last year.
I found out after the game. Yeah, after the game, I was shaking hands. We're all fired up from the win. Obviously, everybody knew that he got hurt in the game, but nobody really knew the severity of it until you're talking to Carson and the trainers afterwards.
Do you remember Malcolm addressing the team afterwards? Because I think you mentioned
you
guys were.
Yeah, Malcolm addressed the team. I think it was definitely a shocking blow, and I think that it was still uncertain at that time, but it was still something that everybody was in the heat of the moment. It was something that took everybody back a little bit.
Well, Corey Clemens on IR, Josh West on IR. You guys have been devastated by injuries this season.
I know. That's been a reoccurring thing, but, we understand it's a lot of opportunity out here on this team, and, we got 3 weeks. Hey, that 6 seed look good. We just got to take care of business.
Do you think the morale's still very positive?
Oh
here?
yeah, real positive. I mean, I think Doug does a great job of just keeping stuff out there, keeping goals out there that we can reach. Right now, NFC East, it is what it is, but right now we looking forward to the 6th seed. So we just gotta win out, and hopefully things fall into our hands. All we're trying to do is get a seat at the table.
So what are your thoughts when you see Nick Foles out there leading the team and no Carson?
Hey, I trust all of them. Anybody in, you got to trust, because we got 3 weeks to do it. I mean, they here for a reason, and Howie and those guys does a great job bringing guys in. And we seen what Nick can do. It's gonna be interesting, if that's the case.
Brandon, knowing what Nick can do, how reassuring is that for the defense and the veteran guys who played around?
That's big, because you don't want to have a big drop off, especially with a guy with Carson. Carson is a hell of a player, and Nick is a hell of a player. I've been on both sides of it where Nick struggled and Nick was blazing, and then it's like, all we got to do is just keep it together, and I think he's a leader in his own right too, and I think he's going to do a great job leading the offense if that's the case.
Hey Brandon, you talk about playing for that 6th seed. It's going to take beating the Rams.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like we can't lose no more games. You know what I'm saying? And the Rams, that'll be a great confidence boost. And then on top of that, that's the 2nd seed, in the NFC. And so, let's go out there and let's take care of business. And it's gonna start with stopping Gurley, and then obviously we gotta hold him off and sack him. So he can't get the ball to those guys in the back end.
You already got a good look at.
It starts with Todd there.
Yeah, you got to stop Gurley because, you know what they're going to run. But, that boy is, they do a great job as far as, every game I done seen, he's got 100 yards. He's 2nd leading rusher behind Elliott. And, they both different. They both got they. It's all about what flavors you want. They just both different, but they both, produce almost the same.
You already got a good look at what the Saints offense can do. How does this Rams offense compare when you look at the two of them?
Well, they got one back other than 2 backs like the Saints. Then on top of that, they both. Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and Goff is his own person. Own quarterback, but Drew Brees is a little more quicker with getting the ball out, and I think he can beat us just throwing the ball. He ain't got to really run the ball. But, I think they offense run. The head of their offense is Todd. And make sure that we gotta rally to get numbers to him and make sure he don't have a day on us.